Damn. Where am I? Hey! Castle East. That's where we're supposed to be going. I thought the Empire had sent their soldiers after us again. Apologize. My husband was a dragoon. The Imperial soldiers killed him along with the rest. My son and I are the only two left. Oh, rip. I'm sorry. Welcome to another episode of People Watch Clovers Get Lost for 45 minutes. I have one last request to make of you. Take this egg to the cavern north of here and submerge it in the life spring. The wyvern egg sinks gently to the bottom of the spring. The egg rests deep at the bottom of the life spring. Excellent. The wyvern. It's dead. Sorry. The last living wyvern is dead, but the egg you placed in the spring remains. Someday it will hatch, and the wyvern will spread its great wings and soar through the sky for the rebels. What is up, my dudes? Alrighty, we're just gonna jump right the hell back into it. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I don't know if it was my doing or my therapist's doing, but I had therapy today and I could have sworn it was scheduled for 10:30 a.m. to end at 11:30 a.m. so I could get on at my normal noon stream time, but turns out there was a new client scheduled for 10:30. And I was scheduled for 11:30. Granted, look, in this instance, she is the therapist. I am the one seeing a therapist. But, in my defense... Oh, shoot. I forgot everybody was really low from last time. We should hit an in as soon as possible. But in the meantime, we're just gonna go for it. Because, hey, first fight of the day, am I right? But yeah, to my credit, I did write it down probably 100 different times in 100 different places in an attempt to not forget when it was, because I do have a really bad tendency to forget dates and times. So here we are. Yeah, but you know, we're just gonna do a nice, cozy, hopefully relatively light stream today. Not sure if we're gonna be going too long, because I do have to prepare my one-shot for my players this Friday. It is official. We're going to be doing a Dread one-shot set in a very Friday the 13th-esque campground setting. Right before stream, one of my players messaged me and said that he wants to be a camp ranger, and I absolutely love that idea. It's not something that I would have written as far as characters are concerned, so it's really nice to see a player go and suggest something that like I straight up would not have suggested for the party, and I think it's going to be really fun. I'm super excited. It's going to be trope heavy, it's going to be kind of silly, but like a little scary. The right amount of scary, in my opinion. But yeah, so, you know, if anybody's hanging around in chat and you have any super fun Halloween plans, any Halloween movies you would recommend, I've been in such a mood to watch, like, spooky or spooky adjacent movies recently, so very much in the market. I still haven't watched Hereditary. I was going to watch Hereditary a while back, but at the time, my husband was in a different country, and I straight up was like, look, if I do this, if I sit down and I watch a spooky movie, that's it. I can't do anything else for the rest of the night, so I'm gonna put it away for now. So Hereditary's on my list. That is gonna be something that I watch relatively soon. But yeah, if anybody else has any fun, scary movies, any fun, spooky season ideas, anything that you guys are doing in your downtime to sort of like indulge in the Halloween season, I'd love to know. And look, if not, we can just talk about Final Fantasy somewhere, because that's also been heavy on the mind. It's really fun talking to your therapist about Twitch streaming. I don't know if anybody else has has had this particular instance. This is all that relatable, but I think there's a very interesting dichotomy there, where I'm pretty sure she has no idea what I'm talking about more than 50% of the time, but she's happy I'm happy, so there's that. Anyway, it's been a bit of a day already, which is always good. Also, one of my friends who has, hello Street, welcome, glad you're back. How are you doing today? Wrong person to ask for scary movie suggestions. One of my friends, she runs a online store. I believe it's under Sugar Pig. She makes emotes for streamers. I just got some emotes from her, so we should probably have some more emotes soon. That's still too hot. I don't know why I'm trying to drink this tea. I just made tea before stream. That's not gonna cool down for a minute. Stop trying to drink it. Just relax, play the game. But yeah, the husband is working from home today, so there will be no cats in the room, because I do respect his need to constantly be on semi-important phone calls, and how disruptive a stream of consciousness yap from his wife might be in the other room. So we're gonna be on a cat-free stream today, unfortunately. A little sad for everybody involved, but it is what it is. Sometimes it do be like that. Alright, let's look at all of the stuff that we have equipped. I think we're good for now. I think we did an optimization. Oh, damn, that sucks. RIP. I'm so sorry. There are so many wing swords. Why are there so many wing swords? We'll see. We'll try it. Didn't expect that, but alright. We'll see. I think that's fun. Hopefully we're back from ads. Hey, are we back? We're back from ads. Fingers crossed, no more ads. Whoa. Oh. Sorry about the, hey, so back. Sorry about the ever-rolling tide of ads. It just is what it is. Now, fortunately, I'm very fortunate that it is what it is, but, you know, glad we're back. Anyway, let's go report to Her Highness, the favorite step, going back to Altair again. Some Helldivers, you say? So yeah, Street, how are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good, outside of that small switch up with my appointment timing, which is so, like, I am one of those people that very much is, like, 100% at the whims of whatever schedule I've set up for myself the night before. So, like, the second there's even the remotest amount of upset, I'm already a little off kilter, a little off balance. but we're good. Hey, oh no. Why are you anxious about a speech class? Speech classes are great. I mean, I get it. It's not great for everybody. But, usually everybody in a speech class is just as nervous as you are. That's, like, lesson number 1. And 2, nobody's actually gonna care at the end of the day outside of your professor. Yeah, that's a little rough. Now I understand the residual, fear, potential fear or worry harbored in the heart. I don't know. I think something that one of my speech professors when I was in school told me that was really helpful is as long as you know what you're talking about, you're gonna do fine. Usually speech just comes down to the person's knowledge on the topic, even if that topic is the talking points on the topic. If you can find your way back to the facts that you know at the end of the day, you're usually okay. Because, people who are there to listen to somebody give an oration is usually because they are there to learn or hear or whatever from that person. And I think, like, just having that core of, like, I know what I'm talking about, and you guys don't, so you're here to listen to me, and that's how this is gonna go. I don't know, that really helped me. Granted, obviously, from the yapping streamer, this is not the best, I'm not the best person to give anti-anxiety speech advice, because it has always come pretty naturally to me. As far as being able to talk to crowds. I've always been far, far more anxious in small groups. I used to have this really conflicting sense that, like, auditions were the end of my life. Because you're trying something in front of a group of, like, 3 people, and when you can see all of their faces, that's when it gets to me. But when you can kind of just, like, phase people's faces out, like, make everybody a little fuzzy and just be like, there are ears in front of me, that's always helped me. I've never had an issue with performance. Yeah. See, I legitimately think it happens in one way or the other. You're either, like, incredibly confident in front of small groups, or you're incredibly confident in front of large groups, and there is no in-between. Yeah, I always thought it was, like, the intrapersonal of... I did not mean to go to Castle Finn. Oh, why am I in Finn? I meant to go to Altair. Silly me. Silly, silly me. Yeah, no, I really do think it is, like, one or the other. I have not met too many people outside of, like, the most extroverted people that I know that can do both competently. That is a whole different thing. And I totally, like, I don't get it, but I can empathize? Sympathize? One of them. The one where you put yourself in somebody else's shoes. I can't say a right-off jump. But, I mean, that's a whole can of worms that I can't really speak on, but I feel for. And I think it's the same thing as, like, I'm not gonna try to sit in that feeling, but it is a thing. You can also be anxious about both as well. Which, I'm sorry for those of you in chat that are. I think a lot of where sort of my willingness to be on camera, to sit and to talk to a bunch of people comes from is, like, I don't know, at the end of the day, we're all people, right? Good. Excellent. Excellent. And repetition is always helpful. I think that's one of the things that we forget is that everything that we know, like, as children, we start with a base of nothing. And then we go and we learn all these skills, but they're all skills. And skills are improved through practice. So, even just having conversations with your friends is a way of practicing your speech, is a way of practicing your confidence in front of others. Oh, God. I can relate to that hardcore. Being the first time that you had to interview someone, I had to interview interns for my last job. And, like, college kids who are trying to get, like, an internship, trying to get a gig, are really nervous. I was sitting there, palms sweating, like, my notepad was shaking. I was like, and, Shit, what other questions do you ask in an interview? That's true. There you go. Silver linings. 8 weeks instead. You can only cram so many in-person speeches into that amount of time. The princess has shut herself. Ah! So hey, that's even a little bit better, I would say. There you go. That's a little bit better. I think. Personally. I'm also way more, if you couldn't tell, I'm way more comfortable and confident on a camera versus in person. But, you know, some people would catch me on that and be like, you do community theater and you've done a lot of improv, so like, maybe that's not true, but oh wow, props, dude. Props. You got a lot going on, so like, you know, congrats on being in school, period. That shit's difficult, so I feel. Oh, that tea is so hot. That tea is so hot. Ay, ay, ay. That can also help, yeah. I remember I felt so strange going back to school, being in like a very weird middling age of like, I was older than most of the people in class, but I wasn't in like the older students side of things. Like I wasn't in like the 40s and 50s coming back to school for a degree kind of thing. So it was very strange, not quite sure where I fit for a little while. But yo, especially like I did film, so like a lot of our programming was super open, and a lot of the people that I went to classes with were super nice. Damn, there are too many options. I'm so sorry, David. That's a rough place to live. See, at least I have like, this is what, and even then I'm playing 2 or 3 other Final Fantasies in the background, so, you know, yeah. If you're around 30, you're gonna be in a very similar spot of like, I'm not one of the like, this is my return to form, and I'm also not fresh-faced and fluffy-tailed, so, but there are actually like a surprising amount of us that are like mid to late 20s to early 30s that are in or back to school. It was just surprising to learn that. Like, I really think we box ourselves into thinking that like college age is a very specific point in time, when really it's a secondary education. It's after you're done with your primary one, whenever that is. Ooh, Tactics on PlayStation 5 would be good. Ooh, I really want to play Tactics. I've been talking a lot about Tactics, and I just, I gotta stay focused. Do you have Tactics on anything? Because, I mean, look, if you want to play Tactics, I don't think there's a problem with playing Tactics. Anyway, Furion, there's something I would like to discuss with you. Trying. I'm sorry, I like you guys so much. You're fun to talk to. You're trying to bring me down with thoughts of tactics. We'll be waiting outside. Okay, Maria. This got weird. Hey, Austin! What's happening? What's happening? How are you doing? Come to me, Furia. Oh, it's so spooky. It's so seasonal. Your Highness? Why are you just standing there? I don't enjoy being teased. I hate this. I don't remember this at all. You're mine. Now you're mine, Furion. What have you done with the princess? Oh, no. Not so fast, you scurvy snake. That's valid. The amount of times we've set up strange situations in our rooms so that we don't have to sit at a desk to play games happens so often. That's so funny, Street. I love that so much, and I very much want to steal it, so we'll see. We'll see if that makes it into the video, if you don't mind. Because leave the Dragoon Castle and enter the Goon Castle is so fucking funny. That's so funny. See you, David. Thanks for hopping by. It's very, very fun. Even if only for a wee bit. I mean, look. Lamia Queen, she's a cutie. She didn't have to pretend to be Hilda. Alright, what's good with this? What do you do? You know what I should do first? We should cast Blink on everybody. That's been a pretty solid decision for the most part. So yeah, I'll try to work it in, but sometimes things hit the cutting room floor that you're very proud of, so we'll see if it makes the final cut, but I really love that. Alright. Oh no, Furion's taking a little nap. Yeah. Blink is one of those ones that I feel pretty safe in the early games using, because it usually the utility outweighs the questionable. Some of the magic is so questionable on these. Some of it's so rough. We're just gonna try a couple of different magics to see if she's weak to anything. Hello, Goopsie. Welcome. I hope you guys are doing well today. No, Street, I totally agree. They really are. But then, like, as soon as you get into the comfortability with magic and the magic systems in Final Fantasy, some of the mages in later games are my absolute favorite characters to have in party. So yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about the magic, because I wanna, like, actually, outside of this playthrough, and just in my own time, fuck around with some of the spells and see, like, what the effectiveness is, as well as just doing some online research. Because, like, it's different to feel it versus just reading somebody else talk about it. Because some of the spells just straight don't work, which is crazy. Like, some of them you will put on a character and you're like, ah, that's not, that isn't, I don't know why we're here, actually. Oh, dang. Oh, but I don't have Basuna, I only have Asuna. I should have taken the bassoon. Yeah, it is fake Hilda. That's also true. I do have to look at that. I haven't really done a lot of Pixel Remastered Other Version research yet, because that usually comes, like, during my... Oh, that was an easy fight. I like that the two girls were the ones that were still awake to defeat her. That feels cinematically appropriate. It was only a matter of time. Look, her hypnotic, sexy snake lady powers work on everybody, but... Oh, shit. That's not that surprising. For the Famicom version. Really? That is crazy that you can toad the final boss. Layla, just how much of that did you see? Enough to know you shouldn't be letting your guard down around fetching young ladies, I'd say. Where real princess. I love Guy. I don't think I gave... Oh, I gave Guy, like, a southern accent last time. Where real princess. Which doesn't really fit, but I love him so much. And it doesn't matter, because he's perfect. I've terrible news! We've just heard a tournament is being held in Palamecia, and Princess Hilda is the prize! I'm coming with you. I want to help you rescue Hilda. Don't worry. I know just how you feel, Captain. Me and me boys will manage your army. I run a tight ship. No need to fret over us. Okay, I'm absolutely in love with this. That I love. That fucking Prince Gordon was just like, yeah, sure, a bunch of pirates, totally, basically the same as a rebel army. Which, I mean, yes, to be fair, correct. Hell yeah. He is our little, ooh, prince, our little guy. Ready, capital R. You know, he heard Princess Hilda and was like, excuse me? He is. He's such a soft boy. I love him so much. They really are growing on me. The whole cast of this is growing on me. Yeah, see, Austin, I was thinking the exact same thing when I was like, it's not surprising that the Fanacom versions allow you to toad the basically any enemy. Basically. Aww. Our little Gordito Crunchwrap. Take this weapon, you're fine, I promise. Speaking of, what do you have right now? A spear and a shield, cool. That does not feel optimal, guys. I'm gonna keep him with a shield, because I was rolling into him doing shield stuff. I don't know if it's that helpful, but, you know, we're here. I guess take a mage staff for now. We'll try to get you something better. We'll see. You know, he really does start this game just being like, I can't do anything right. And then, literally, the second he has a chance, he's sitting in the king's chair. It's like, alright, go off, I guess. That's a bummer. Ancient sword bug. Don't know if it, you know, if you want to confirm that, feel free, but I'm sure we'll get there. Go on, get. You don't need to be worrying about us. Alright, bye. Take care, Prince Gordon. I hope the princess is alright. Even the dragoons couldn't stand against the might of the Emperor. Emperor. I love that for you. That is so cute. If the princess is the tournament prize, maybe I should enter. Who am I kidding? I'd be killed. Oh, okay, bugged good. 100% chance to curse. That's crazy. That's crazy. Minwu still hasn't returned from Mysidia. No, what happened to Minwu? Palamecia lies far to the south of Kashan. The monsters living in the Palamecian desert are said to be very tough, so be careful. You got it. Prison beneath Colosseum where they're having the tournament. I bet the princess is being held there. They're giving away our princess as some kind of prize. I can't stand it. Good for you, bud. Alright, alright. South. We're heading south, past Kashan. Or so they've said. It's true. Gotta make, all of the town's youth feel like they should be out fighting for their princess. I don't see a reason to have under 5 of anything at this time. And I'm also gonna look at the goods and services store. And by goods and services, I mean armor and spells. I don't know why I said goods and services. It's alright. It's alright. Alrighty. Yeah, that should be good. No, yeah, look. that was one of the things that really won me over, is that it does have a very, like, the fascistic elements of the Empire and Mateus are very, very clear right from jump. The fact that they have you jump in and, like, war is already happening, it is currently happening, you are orphaned by this war, like, immediately preceding the game. The fact that, like, every city you visit is impacted in some meaningful way. Like, I really do love a lot of the elements of this game. And, yeah, like, because, like, even with some of, like, Kefka's really, for lack of a better word, campy villainy, or, you know, like, if you're looking at some of the other later villains, if you're looking at, like, your I don't want to say Sephiroth, because that's, I think, like, you're talking more about, the company whose name I can't remember right now, because my brain is about the size of a walnut, but whatever. A lot of their villains, like, have very visceral, Shinra, thank you, sorry, goldfish brain, have that vibe, but I think this is one of the ones that really, really hones in on the fact that he is already in power, that he very much is grasping for this power for a specific peoples, that it's very much a one versus the many. Well, thank you, Steinison. I'm sure it will probably be in a year or two with how fast I'm making it through this one, but my goal is to have one out basically every month or two, so we're trying. I should be moving, in matter of fact. Alright, let's go get... We'll get there. We'll get to 5. We'll get there. We'll get there is my new motto. Hey! Hey, you know what? To be fair though, I was also late today, so you're not the only one in that boat. I very much ran a little late today. I had a little mix-up with my therapy appointment times. I still think, you know, my therapist made a mistake, but hey, I'm the one paying her, so at the end of the day, my mistake for sure. Also true, Tuft. I see that. I see that. And, I mean, look, we'll talk about, too, the quote-unquote bigger bad in a lot of the games, and what each one sort of, like, symbolizes or impacts. Also, hey, Jen! Happy Wednesday! Glad you're here! And Tufts and Jink and everybody who came in since. I love that, Stein. That's very good. I love that a lot. And I will use that. I'm gonna use the standard Wizards entry whenever I'm a little late for stream. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. Let me know in chat, you know, what's up, what's good, how y'all are doing. I was previously asking for any spooky season activities or movie recommendations because I'm very much in the mood to indulge in some spook. Okay, let's take a look at our map real quick before we just... Also, Jen, how are you? It's been a minute. I'm very glad you're here. Kashan Keep there. Okay, so we're talking south of there. Probably. I think I'm gonna pick up a chocobo, and we're gonna run around on a chocobo for a while. Hey. Produce co-op day. Hell yeah. Well, hopefully I say some interesting things and not just, blab about Final Fantasy for hours on end. Oh, fun. Mummy and Mummy 2 is a good choice. That's a very good choice. This chat, talk about Final Fantasy for 4 to 5 hours? Unbelievable, honestly. You know, unfortunately, Jen, you're now in the group of people that know me in real life, and, may or may not really be here for the Final Fantasy of it all. Hey look, we'll try to keep it interesting. We won't just talk about the fascistic overtones of the enemies in this game. We'll talk about something else, like the sexy snake lady. I'm sure that'll be riveting while you work. Second game in the series to have a weird random sexy snake lady. Don't know what that says about the franchise as a whole yet. Alright, let's see. We're going south, and I'm not sure where, because I could not be asked. I do think, honestly, unfortunately, fascism and sexy snake ladies is a perfect combination. Like, I don't think that there would be somebody aligned with that kind of, awful sort of arc, sort of politics that wouldn't also be totally fine if their, like, their symbology was some sort of sexy snake lady. The baddies always love snakes. And they never seem to see how everybody else can get their point from very far away. Oh, balloons. I fucking hate balloons. Politics in my Final Fantasy? Yeah. Hey, mama. Came just in time for some ads. Still at home, or did you just hit lunch? Ooh, I haven't, but phallic enemies are always so fun to discuss, especially if you discuss them as like a, oh yeah, Prime sub! Yeah, Ma, I forgot that you had the Prime sub up. My bee. Well, enjoy the last day home. I'm glad I streamed. It's always fun to discuss in like a are the curtains blue kind of way, if you know what I'm getting at. Found a chocobo. Yeah, no, it is. It's mostly symbolism in boss fights. Granted, in this game, they do say that all of the monsters you fight are demonic entities from an underworld released by the Emperor, which is very interesting. And I made some comments when we were in the Dreadnought, the first time I played through the Dreadnought, that were basically like, I don't understand why there's so many things here. Like, this is not up to code. Man just really loves the little demons. Man just really loves the little guys. I think that is his, like, one positive. His one pro, is the Emperor does just like a bunch of little guys. Likes having little demon boys around to help him fight. Alright, where are we going? That's a good question. I guess this is technically north? I hate it here. We'll get there. Hey. I'm sorry, my ad timing is just so perfect. You'll have to come back and watch the VODs. It's alright. While ads are playing, we'll just jam to the Chocobo tunes and take it real light for a minute. Just a little light work. Okay. That's all mountains. There's no way around that, huh? Dang. It's not like the worst run back if... I'm not loving it. I do hate... The one thing that I dislike about this game, I think a genuine amount still, is that the map does feel really empty. Like, so much of the map feels superfluous. And it doesn't feel the same in one, in my opinion. I'm gonna have to look back at some stuff just to compare and contrast to make sure that I'm not pulling stuff out of my butt, but I really feel like this is the first game that has chocobos, Stein. This is the very first introduction of chocobos, which I do love. I love me a little bird horse. Ah, is that where I have to go? Don't know how I'd get there. I'm gonna find a way. Yeah, this one is the first one that has chocobos. They intended to put Moogles in, as a different species, like they had a different name and they were gonna be just snow critters, but they make their first appearance in 3. One is pretty dense. You're not wrong. Because, yeah, I feel like the mountains are utilized a little bit better. I think maybe that's where I'm, like, having problems is you have these huge deserts, you have these huge spans of, like, little islands and stuff, and in 1, a lot of those little islands at least, like, ended in something. They had a cap, like, you know, you have your, let's see, you have, like, Titan's little hole in the ground, you have, the Sage's home, you have Matoya's home, and like all of those are spread out so that it feels a little bit more populous in certain areas, whereas like if they just put one thing down at the bottom of that peninsula, it might have made this map feel a little bit more robust. But again, like I want to look at that actually back to back and see if that is... Alright, yeah, look, we're close enough to the Chocobo Forest that I don't feel bad about like letting the Chocobo run off. Okay. This is the Coliseum. This is where we gotta be, right? It looked like a Coliseum, so that, at least it choreographed me pretty well. That, if we're fighting for the princess, this might be where we'll find her. Le gasp. I love a Coliseum in a game. I know it's very overdone at this point, but I love it. Bet. Hope you're all having a great day. Let me know how you're doing in chat. Yeah, the long stretches of land is a really big choice. Granted, again, too, like, I can see it playing into the sort of, like, constant war, like, there would be less little outposts and stuff like that. I need to, like, actually, like, sit with that and think about it to see if that actually stands, or if I'm just making up excuses for it at this point. But we'll see. May you fight... I gotta find a fun voice for the Emperor, I think. May you fight well this day. I like that one. I use it a lot, but it's one of my favorites. Hey. Good, what'd you have for lunch? I'm feeling good. Had a burrito bowl before this, a little homemade burrito bowl. Had my therapy before this, so like, you know, feeling emotionally light, unencumbered. A little flustered because of a time mismanagement thing, but that's fine. To the victor goes Hilda, Princess of Finn. Vegetarian, so can't, like, absolutely 100% yum. But I do love a good fake chicken taco, so I can only assume the real thing is good, too. I'm such a Tex-Mex girly. I am, like, 100%. Like, Tex-Mex is my... I think it's, like, a comfort food for me. I think Greek is my favorite, like, food category. But I think Tex-Mex is my, like, my comfort food. Let's see. Oh, it's Behemoth! Hey, Behemoth! What's good, my dude? Look at him! How cute! I mean, he's probably gonna fuck my shit up, but, you know, he's cute! Yes. To answer your question, yes. If Behemoth wins, he gets Hilda. Game over. I mean, really, I want to ask Hilda, like, does she want to come back with us, or does she just want a big cat? Because, like, you know, to be honest, I would be like, fuck it, I don't want to run the rebellion anymore. Let me just live here in this sand pit with my big cat. But that might just be me, you know? I'm with you, my dude. I mean, again, like, vegetarian, it's much harder to find. Both good and vegetarian. But, I love, ugh. Okay, anyway, back to kicking Behemoth in the teeth. Okay, watch yourself, don't get too... Oh, what am I doing? Why am I not blinking? Real questions, asked by real people, to real professionals. So what's the story in Final Fantasy II thus far? Alright, well, us four, not Gordon, he's new, the three of us and Leon, Maria's brother, Furion, Maria, Guy, and Leon, were children in the city-state, or, no, not city-state, the Kingdom of Finn, and we were orphaned by the recent attempts for Emperor Matthias to take the mantle of the ruler of the world. We attempted to join the rebellion, to which the princess overseeing the rebellion went, nah, y'all are dumb little orphaned teenagers. And we went, wow, that was really rude. And she went, prove it. Go find your lost brother then, fool. So we tried, and we couldn't find him, but we did something else. I don't remember what we did. Anyway, we come back, and she's like, hey, that was really sick. Oh yeah, we found Scott. We found her, I guess technically betrothed? Yeah, retrieved his ring, from an overtaken town. Went back, showed her the ring, told her Scott was dead, told Gordon that his brother was dead, that's who Gordon is. She was like, yo, that was really sick, you guys are really cool, do you think you can help me with the war effort? And we were like, we've been trying! So she sent us to go grab some mithril, and to cut off the Empire's supply of mithril, which we did, pretty successfully. We met Joseph, who gave us a snowcraft, and also joined our team for a little while. He was pretty sick. He's dead now. RIP. Like most people. I think he got crushed by a giant boulder, right? Am I right? Or is that a different game where somebody gets crushed by a giant boulder? Anyway, we come back with mithril, we make a bunch of weapons for everybody, and then they're like, you need to take care of the dreadnought. And it's like, but first, you need to do something else that I don't remember what it is. But whatever, we don't destroy the dreadnought kills a bunch of people, we eventually destroy the dreadnought. We come back after that, they're like, alright, we need a new way to win the fight. And we're like, okay, what? And they're like, the dragoons. Turns out the dragoons are also already dead. So we came back and we're like, hey, we dropped the last wyvern egg in a big lake, now what do we do? Oh yeah, the sunfire, right. Thank God you're here, or else where would we be? We needed a big old torch, we needed the Olympic champion's torch to carry the sunfire, or the everlasting fire that does not die, so that we could throw it in the pit of the dreadnought. That was how we were gonna destroy the dreadnought, thank you. Which Gordon helped, because Gordon and Scott used to oversee Kashan Keep, which is where the Eternal Flame was. Destroyed the dreadnought, went and found all the dead dragoons, got a pendant, talked to an old dragon, threw the dragon's egg into the water, came back, and we talked to the princess. The princess wasn't the princess, she was somebody else. A sexy snake lady who tried to murder us. And then it turns out the princess is missing, and she's being held captive as the prize for this battle in the Colosseum. And that's where we are now. I think I got everything. I definitely missed some things. I'm much better scripted. If you want a full-sail, defined plot breakdown, you're gonna have to wait until we get to... Yeah, Princess did get a scaling upgrade. We're gonna have to wait until we get to the video analysis of it, but... I think that's basically it. Off the fly. Okay. Nobly fought. Now let us give you your just reward. Yeah, a lot of searching for treasure chests as well. There was a lot of downtime where we were just looking for a couple of chests. This is your chance to slay the Emperor. Who said that? Was it my conscience? Here is your reward. A reward befitting a rebel Furion. Thank you, Stein. I appreciate it. And a lot of monster closets, you're not wrong. Yeah, thank you. Look, I try really hard to remember what I'm actively doing in this moment, and to relay it to all of you precious viewers out there. Humph. Throw him in a cell. If you couldn't guess, that's probably someone we know. They keep hinting at it. But we're not sure yet. It could be not who we think it is. The only other person in our known vicinity that's been missing. Excellent, David. Glad you're back. You didn't miss a lot. You just missed me plot summarizing, so good to go. A sturdy iron gate blocks the doorway. A little bowl cut looking ass. Lights out. Oh, it's Paul! You guys remember Paul? Don't you remember Paul? The thief? This is for rescuing me from the mines. I pay my debts. Aw, dang. See, David, it's alright. You'll just have to come back for the much better, more concise plot summary in the video. It's fine. It'll be... We'll get there. Paul does rule, but it's really funny that they keep just being like, and here's Paul. You remember Paul. Now get out of here before they catch you. Thanks, Paul. Bye, Paul. Neither can I. I genuinely really love working on this video, so I'm very excited to get back to it. It is like the only thing I think about, honestly, kind of. The sweetest young man, that Paul. Taking care of business. Doing good deeds to pay his debts. Monster chest. Not really, and that's the funniest part, Stein. I really think Paul is, like, basically a non-character for a while, but you do run into him a lot, and I think it's really funny that they keep just being like, look, it's Paul! Aren't you excited Paul's here? I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess. There goes Paul again. Hey, Paul, how you doing? But, like I said, I'm slowly falling for every single character in this game. I love all of them. Unfortunately, like, I really was prepared to sit on my hater throne and have hate opinions about this game, but it's really won me over. Unfortunate. The haterade's gonna have to stay in the refrigerator until we get to some of the other games that I dislike in this series. Which there aren't a lot of, so it's gonna be a lot of just me gushing about how much I love them. And I really thought 2 was gonna be a refreshing little sassy piece of work, but here we are. Unfortunately having a good time or whatever. I'm sure Paul thinks Paul's a big deal now that I think about it. Paul probably thinks Paul definitely thinks Paul is the biggest deal. Tough to answer that question. I'm only going to be doing the mainline games until I get to the end of the mainline games, and then I will be returning to do, like I said, like Tactics, X2, I'm not going to be doing all of the wide-branching ones, because, like, I literally just booted up, 3DS random Monster Hunter-esque, Final Fantasy something, I don't remember what it is. But, like, so we won't be doing everything, but we will be kind of, like, going through what seems to be the next most important games that are related to or tangential from the franchise. My primary distaste in the series, I think legitimately, and a lot of people don't like this, that's true, I can throw a sassy aside, is 16. I really am not a 16 fan, and I have a lot of reasons for not being a 16 fan, and it was pretty disappointing. So, also Street, I totally get that about very specific crunchy games, just like kind of scratch monkey brain. I'm 100% in that same boat with some stuff. Like, I've been on a real Cook Serve Delicious kick. Not like a real Cook Serve Delicious kick, but I booted up Cook Serve Delicious 3, and it hits like a very specific spot in my brain. Not the same thing, obviously, but like I get the monkey brain crunch for specific things. That was a bad example. I have other examples. I just can't think of one. Hold on 1 second. I don't necessarily have a plan yet for the, like, anything that I'm going to be doing after the main series, so, like, After Years is included in that. 2 is one of the ones with a weird XP system. It's a very strange XP system. It's what sort of spawned, Saga. They have a lot in common. Be talking about it. Yeah, look, I didn't finish 16. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm just getting caught up in chat and talking about stuff. I also kind of would count X2 as mainline, but I think it is fair in that there are other games that have, like, sequels or, like, very close tied spin-offs that I don't necessarily want to get in the weeds with until we get to the end of the mainline. And then we'll hit all those little things. I can understand being a hater of some of the more popular ones. I don't necessarily vibe with that just because, like, I'm a hater of so many things. Final Fantasy is one of those things where, like, I just like it for the sake that I like it. Like, I have so many opinions and a lot of them are very negative. So I like being just, like, very positive about some stuff here. I haven't finished X2, so I love it so far. I'm very excited about it, but I haven't finished X2. Crisis Core is probably going to be on the list. Yeah, no, there's a lot. Plus, like I said, like, I definitely want to delve into some other Square Enix, some other just, like, generally stuff that is very much in the same vein as this. So we're gonna be here a while. We're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff for a while here. Ether Elixir Cottage. That was a nice little room. Thank you for throwing me in your treasure dungeon. They put me in a nice little spot. That's also very fair, Stein. I love that. Look, Kingdom Hearts is on the list. It's a game that I have not really touched and is 100% a product of Final Fantasy. So we'll get into it. I think, honestly, where we're gonna make up time is I'm not gonna make you guys replay through all of 14 with me, even though that is something I would very much enjoy doing. And look, if people were down to do let's replay all of 14, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed. But I think that's where we're gonna make up a lot of time. Okay, so I only play the ones that I am getting for gameplay footage on stream. Like I said, I'm playing like 2 or 3 other Final Fantasy games alongside in my own downtime. So it really is like, this is for what we're doing now. I was also playing a lot of other stuff on stream for a while. I was doing a lot of variety stuff. I already went in here. My bad. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play through all of 11, but it's one of the things that I really do want to touch on. X2 is unexpectedly crunchy, which is something that I really, really loved about it. Like, I stepped into it just kind of expecting more of, like, what 10 had given us, and it's It's so good. We'll talk about the dress sphere system at some point. I still don't think I'm deep enough into the game to really have a firm opinion on the dress sphere system. First time I picked up X2, I was actually a little like, I don't want to say scared of it, but I was like, oh my god, this is daunting to step into such a different system. But it's such a cool, interesting thing to play. Rip. Sorry for the bees. Turns out the Warriors of Light are very allergic to bee stings. But yeah, so I said, like I said, I'm playing X2 off stream. I'm playing that one random one that I picked up on my 3DS off screen. I was playing for a while. I was playing Rebirth. Off screen. Yeah, the MMOs integrated the allergy status effect. Also valid. Like, I do think that this gameplay format, while I find it really enjoyable, I fully understand people who are just, like, not super into this kind of gameplay for whatever reason, or that fall into hard stopping walls with it. Oh no, Street, I'm so sorry. That makes it so much worse. Ugh. Parasites. Why do they have such big eyes? What do they need such big eyes for? Are those even eyes, or are they just holes? Get your gross parasite holes off of my screen. I haven't touched Dirge of Cerberus, but, that is basically, I've basically only heard it's campy and edgelord, and if you want to do that, it's very fun, so it's gonna make it onto that secondary list. I mean, look, we're even seeing that, like, people are getting, area, like, tired of big areas. We're seeing, like, sandbox games sort of take a super big hit in certain respects with reviewers, just because games are getting too big and they're no longer fun to explore in certain respects. So, like, I think it's just, like, a normal tide for the industry to, like, bat too far to a notable, successful point, and then kind of fall on its face following that. But, I mean, you know, like, I think a lot of them turn back around, so it's not like you have to wait too long before somebody comes out with a game in that kind of genre that you really enjoy. Oh! Street, that sucks. 4D movies are that was such a period of time in cinema. Tufts, you don't even have to ask me twice. To watch a movie and review a movie for fun? Literally, of course. Oh my god. I love as many of them that I have seen, I do very much enjoy. Even the bad ones. Like, I've seen a couple of the ones that, like, people don't really love. I really love Final Fantasy. So, like, we'll be talking about it, and I'll talk about the parts that are shit, because, like, you know, I know a decent amount about, like, building a movie and editing and stuff, but... That's also fair, David. That's also 100% fair. Because that's always been hugely in the gaming scene, the sort of, like, dichotomous nature between what the industry thinks we want, what reviewers are saying, what people actually do, whatever. No, I'm actually unfamiliar with I mean, like, I'm familiar with the concept of the 5 anime sequel, but I have not, like, touched it. Am I aware of it? That might be... I might have just lied to you all. Yeah, as far as, like, Breath of the Wild, my husband absolutely loved the Legends of Zelda series and felt, I don't want to say he felt betrayed, because that feels a little silly to say, but he felt a little bit betrayed by the format change, and has not really engaged with the series since. Because I think, like, it was a little bit of an exhausting, like, it was taking something that didn't live in that exhaustive place of big world, get through it, figure it out, do some crafting, and very much took a game that was not formatted for that, put it in that format. And I mean, it could be a beautiful game. I don't know. I haven't really interfaced with it either. But also true, David. And Tufts, that's great. Look, if it's on YouTube, I'll watch it. Don't have to convince me. I was also never really a Zelda girly. I don't think for lack of, like, enjoyment of the series. I think I just, like I said, I didn't really play a lot of games when I was growing up. So it's been something that I've, like, explored since, and have enjoyed exploring since. But it's not, like, it's not one of the majors. It's not a major league for me. It's not a major league hitter. Yeah, Austin, one, I do have incredible completionist energy, so those tendencies die hard. I would probably have a really hard time just kind of existing in that world, because I know there's a lot to, like, collect and do and see, and that's kind of part of the draw for some people. But yeah, my husband was in a very similar boat, where he just was like, I don't feel like this is for me, and that's okay. I don't know if he'd actually like it. He's a very stubborn man. Not a very stubborn man, a little bit of a stubborn man. Street, that is kind of why I have not started in on a Yakuza journey. Because one of my friends was just like, yeah, and then there's also a bunch of little mini games you have to play, and I was like, well, that's gonna sink so much of my time into it that I don't think I can consciously, while I have other things to do, because at the time I did have other things to do, sit down and get engaged with that right now. Oh no, rip ads, sorry gang. See, the thing is, though, like, Persona hits. I want to play more Persona, because I've only played 5. Again, I have a lot of catching up to do. We've got time. But, I've only played 5, and I did not finish 5, because, of one very specific interaction. I'm sorry I'm good at it. I'm sorry I'm so good at ad baiting. It happens when you just keep talking, when you don't stop yapping. It's bound to happen. Nice miss, guy. Also, decision paralysis. I feel you. I feel you 100% on the decision paralysis front. That stopped me from enjoying a lot of games for a long time. Not yet, Stein, not yet. Not yet. But soon. Soon. Unfortunately. Because look, every bone in my body is like, turn them off, it's not worth it. But also, they keep telling me they're gonna give me money soon. So, we'll see. I am also very stressed by dialogue trees. I'm very stressed. Like, I, just as a person with, like, social anxiety, that used to scare the shit out of me. But, like, I think I went through a little bit of a save scum era where I was like, look, if I just answer and it's wrong, I'll reload, it's fine. Because I had to get over that hump. Because I didn't want to keep just, like, not playing the games that I thought I'd enjoy. Because I, as a player, was too anxious that I was gonna make a non-human character feel bad. So, I'm better now, I promise. I'm doing better. But, you know, I get it. I haven't played 1 or 2 of Baldur's Gates, but I did play 3. I have a lot of opinions on 3. Not all positive, which shocks literally no one. Yeah, we were gonna cure yourself with you, because you're not doing good, and then we're gonna do that with you. Sorry, guys, for a second. Oh. See, like, I used to feel a certain kind of way about save scumming, but there are games where I think it's like, it's look, and again, at the end of the day, if you're having a good time playing the game, who is it hurting? You know? Who is it hurting? Nobody. I'm just engaging in a little bit of fun. I think that is, at the end of the day, what's important about this format. Yo, I'm gonna keep trying to Asuna this bitch, so, at least so Asuna gets better. That's so smart, Stein. I didn't even think about that. Dude, that is so smart. And one of my close personal friends does taxes and does my taxes, and oh my god. Dude, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thought. Your girl's gonna have so many new games. No, yeah, I do like some aspects of BG3, but it does feel like if we want to get into a quick discussion, she says. None of my discussions are quick. Hey, look. If you have no regrets at the end of the day, was it scummy at all? I don't think so. That's a great point, FF Nation. That's the other point that I love now, which is like, if I'm gonna sit down and make these decisions, I can play it again another time. That is usually, it seems, a realization people come to when they have a lot of time, or when gaming is like one of their only hobbies. So like, I fully understand people that don't have that time, feeling sort of like stunted into, well, this is gonna be my only playthrough and my true playthrough, so I don't know if I want to spend all of that time and energy into something that, like, I don't feel comfortable with. Yeah, see, I didn't play Pokemon as a kid. I've played a lot of Pokemon now, though, so, like, nobody can come for my Pokemon cred. I've played a lot of Pokemon now. I've even gotten myself fist deep into a couple of Nuzlockes over the years. I still don't know if that Asuna missed or if it worked, but whatever. We're just gonna keep hitting it on. We're gonna use an item, because I really want Furion back, because he is good at not sucking. And we bought 5 gold needles for this reason. Same, Street. I was gonna say literally same. Well, now that you said that it does cure it at a certain level, does missing with it still level it? Because if so, then I don't need to know. I will just keep slamming my face into this wall, because we need Asuna to level anyway. So if you could just inform me whether or not Asuna will level up just from use, then we're gonna keep throwing MP into the trash. But yeah, so for yeah, I really don't love where Pokemon's going, and I tried to stay pretty up on it because, like I said, like, I didn't really get to play a lot of it as a kid. So, like, coming to the series as an adult and falling in love with it as an adult, I was really hopeful that the newer games were going to sort of hit for me. And they didn't, and that was kind of sad. But, okay, cool, thank you. I appreciate the hard labor of my diligent chat. The open zones are mid. It's really hard to do any kind of, like, challenge runs, I feel like, in some of the newer games. Oof. I didn't realize you didn't have an AMP left. That's unfortunate. But, yeah, not a huge fan of where they've gone with it either. I very much agree. So yeah, between that and I might have to run away. That's really unfortunate. Back to BG3. If we want to talk about it. We don't have to. But if we want to talk about it, I have thoughts. To me, it really feels like less of a role-playing game and more of they wanted you to play either the Dark Urge, like the Dirge is the correct playthrough, or they wanted you to play a classic Lawful Good Pally, and those were the only two, like, correct playthrough styles, and everything else is kind of just also there, which I didn't love. It felt a little forced to me, in my opinion. But, you know, it's my opinion. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. Fuck, everybody's toads. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Yikes. Big oof. Big oof. At least they didn't make me start at my actual save. Another thing that I don't mind being different in the Pixel Remaster. Because not having to do the whole Coliseum again is a plus. We're gonna be more cautious this time. We're not gonna let just effects sit for a long time. Speaking of, we should try to Asuna your blind, because that might work. I don't doubt it with Kashan Keep. Fortunately, Kashan Keep when I did it on here was not that rough, I don't think. No, I'm not a big, unfortunately, I'm not a big physical copies girly, because I have too much clutter as is. Like, I have a lot of shit. So it's very much one of those, a lot of my games are digital, which I hate, because I'm very much a fan of physical media. I just don't really own a lot of physical media, as unfortunate as that is. Exactly, tough. That's really where I think a lot of people are really turning on digital copies and digital media for that reason. And you know, like a lot of people in my generations before that, like we've held on to a lot of our physical media, but have sort of like taken into the digital media age and era of everything. And I think it's a mistake, in all honesty, especially because like so much of the film industry is so preoccupied with missing media, stuff that like physical copies of things that like got lost, got ruined, got, you know, over years and years just like completely unaware of them, degraded to a point where they're no longer usable. The fact that we are doing similar things with like one day a piece of digital media can be taken away and may not be in a physical space and somehow it just disappears. Like we have not learned from our mistakes by thinking that digital is more permanent than physical by any means. Anyway. Aww. I'm sorry for your loss of physical Final Fantasy stuff, but also, you know, like, what are you gonna do about it? Life happens. Says she's gonna pay more attention, immediately does not pay more attention. Hell yeah, Jen. I'm like 100% kind of in a similar boat. I'm like really done with streamers overall. So like, you know, we might see a return to the DVD age. But probably not, considering how some people view like digital media now. Yo, tough, same. Literally same. I'm such a film head that that's like one of those things. Before I settled on doing Final Fantasy stuff on YouTube, I wanted to talk about like old and missing media. Because I got really deep in a hole of looking at pirate movies for a little while. I was really like obsessing over pirates and, oh fuck, a Deathflower and 2 Chimera, okay. Pirate movies, pirate stuff in general. I'm such a film girl. I went to college for it. Like, of course, she loves film. It's part of my thing. I meant to heal. What is wrong with me? That's fine. I will heal out of battle. It is fine. But, yeah, so while I was in the process of that, it was like, and then there was this really cool, really innovative piece of pirate media and in film, and it's missing and no one's ever found any pieces of it, or somebody owns the last living copy but they haven't digitized it so it's not available for viewing, and that's so sad. It's so sad. It really is, Austin. Like, I really think that lost media is, like, an incredible, like, we should be safeguarding media now, especially now that we know that it's like the same way that like humanity's always told stories this way through the passage of stuff like that. It's whatever. Anyway. Hell yeah, Street. Hell yeah. It's really true. It's really true. There are some collectors that are doing like genuinely really, really impressive work towards ensuring that we still have some of these things in another couple hundred years. Hey, thank you for the Asuna missing XP information. I appreciate it. Important intel. I'm happy for you, Street. Not a guilty gearhead, but I'm glad you're excited. Hey, the New York Film School is impressive business. That is a cool story. Look, I hope that, you know, it wasn't, you didn't not go for any particular reasons that still sit with you, but, you know, that's cool. That's really cool. Favorite films. Oh, that's a hard one. That's really hard. We do need a plan, Austin, you're right. For a really long time, I quoted The Skeleton Twins as, like, my favorite more modern movie, because I thought it was a really interesting piece, from some comedians. Birdman is really good. I was always, like, relatively into comedies, so, like, Monty Python's Holy Grail was up there for me, especially because of their use of, like, really cool 2D and animation in that. Yeah, no, the camera work in Birdman was beautiful. That film was really gorgeous. I put off seeing it for a really long time because I thought it was going to be hella overhyped. But, no, it was really good. It was really good. But yeah, no, I mean, I love movies generally, so it is really hard for me to, like, pick favorites. God, and there's some really good, like, classics. Like, I'm trying to go back to, like, my film 1, film 2 days and pick apart some of the, like, the black and whites and the early stuff that I watched, because I do have such a soft spot. Favorite directors? Oh, that's... Oof, that's hard. Let's see. I used to be a real big Quentin Tarantino girly. Unfortunate. I've grown out of that. I have since grown out of that, I promise. I do promise. Let's see. I'm just doing a little bit of research. Bicycle Thieves is a genuinely great movie. Also, FF Nation, I didn't even see that. That's so sad. I'm so sorry. You guys are talking about so much cool shit, I'm running behind. Damn. I'm getting carried away and just looking at directors. I also was for a little while Wes Anderson girly. Unfortunately, also have grown out of that over time. Do love a good Terry Gilliam. Yeah, look, all of the whole, like, extended Monty Python verse, like, most of the work that the Pythons did over the years, I really appreciated. There's also a Judd Apatow girly for a while, also embarrassing. I do like some cooler stuff, I promise, I just can't think of it right now. I promise. Have not seen The Substance. I think I talked about it yesterday. I'm used to not be super into horror, especially body horror, because it used to just hit me real weird, because I was like, that looks too real. I got really into behind the scenes stuff when I was a kid because I got a little too freaked out by practical effects. But Tarkovsky is good. Oh god, some of the, like, because that's the other thing too, is I do have a soft spot for, like, some of the, like, middle, like, Japanese and Korean directors from, like, the golden ages of, like, early color cinema. I'm so bad with names, so, like, that's the other thing. I'm really bad at talking about film because I'm awful at names, so it's really hard for me to talk about actors or directors or editors. I have some favorite editors. I could not tell you any of them right now. Can't. It's not, they don't live up there. So yeah, unfortunate. But we could talk about film all day. Hey, Jen, I'll fight you. You know I do. You know more than a lot of people here that there's basically a hole in the side of my head that just leaks out information. Princess Hilda, hold on, we'll get you out of there. Back to gameplay for a second. So I don't have to embarrassingly talk about the fact that I don't know anybody's names. You are correct. About the OG old boy. Hilda, are you alright? Gordon, I never thought to see you here. I thought you were too much of a little bitch. Yeah, it is a Final Fantasy-shaped hole. I'm pretty sure that is what drilled into the side of my head and took all of my knowledge. Gordon, take the princess and go. We'll draw the guards' attention while you escape. Thank you, Firion. Be careful. Yeah, of course he actually stepped up. He's got a bitch to a woman to impress. Bitch non-derogatory. Alright, Jen, it's on. Schedule that fight. It's true. Correct. There is only it's just full of fluffy facts about Final Fantasy and nothing else. And not even the fun, like, actually important facts about Final Fantasy, just some of the stupid shit, like that there were supposed to be, they were gonna put Moogles in this game that they didn't. That's not important. I should know whether or not Asuna gets you XP if it misses. I mean, it's true though, if you are gonna step up, you should step up to your dead brother's ex-girlfriend. Technically not ex, they never broke up, he just did die. Which also rip Scott. R.I.P. Scott, we never knew ye. Until we do. But we won't hear because it's not in the Pixel remaster for some godforsaken reason. Devastating. Devastating. So yeah, sorry gang, it's official. Chat's moving too fast for me to see everybody's messages. That's crazy. But I'll try to keep on top of it. Yeah, Halloween things this weekend. Actually, I'm going to a wedding next weekend, so I can't fight next weekend either. So Halloween, then wedding, but the weekend after that, the second weekend in November, I can probably fight then. Same, Street, same. I really, oh, I lost my second monitor? We're good. I really wish that, like, I don't understand the point in not having it in the remaster. It does not make sense to me. In fact, it makes me a little sad. You're right. You're right. The measure of a man is made only by whether or not you die in Final Fantasy II. Not gang warfare, just a 1v1, me v Jen. Atomic Jen in chat, it's time. Unless you guys want to pick sides, then, you know, feel free. Hell yeah, okay, second week in November. If you bring ice packs, I'll definitely bring at least some water, or maybe, you know, a couple of post snacks. We'll see. We'll see how things go. I really liked the bonus dungeons in this one. I think they felt pretty well integrated when I played it the first time. Because Final Fantasy ones didn't respect my time, I bailed out of them a little bit when I played the first time. Halloween's not dead if you keep the spirit of Halloween in your heart. In fact, if Halloween is dead, that just makes it a little bit more Halloween. Wear the costumes. Do whatever you want. That's what Halloween's for. Like, if you think that just because not a single trick-or-treater comes off the main street in my town, that I don't still dress up and have a bowl of candy ready on Halloween, incorrect. Incorrect. Yeah, no, Final Fantasy II's endgame is really, really fun. So, like, I can see the potential in taking it away from 1. Still wasn't happy about it, because it's like, there is content and it does exist, and I'm sad that I'm just not playing it. But 2's, I was really genuinely sad to hear that 2's were not in-game. Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing, is if you buy yourself a bunch of Halloween candy to give away to trick-or-treaters, when no trick-or-treaters show up, that's just called I'm in a costume and I get to eat 17 fun-sized candy bars tonight. It sucks. It sucks. You guys suck. Yeah, I didn't put a lot of... Hell yeah. Oh, sour candy. Sour candy enjoyer. Top tier. Top tier. I am such a sour candy girl. It is unbelievable. Not teleport, that was not... teleport might not be bad, to be honest. Level up some silence. Same, dog, same. Literally same. I'm 100% in on sour candy. It's one of those things, too, where, like, it can't be in the house. It cannot be in the house. Yeah. Yeah. I get the same from the hub. Hey. Plug in your phone, take care of yourselves, hydrate, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Hopefully we'll see you back at some point. Okay. We're almost out of the Coliseum. That's crazy. Oh no! The Emperor escaped! Aw, I love the dollar gender roles. Oh, hell yeah. Dollar warheads. Hell yeah. Super weapon. Fuck yeah. Ugh. God damn. Now I want sour candy. That is not what we bought for trick-or-treaters. Sad. Okay. Are we done with the Coliseum? Because, damn. I was not prepared to be done with the Coliseum already. Alright. Now what? I guess we go back home. We wave at the princess. I don't know. She got something for us to do, right? Antlions. You really only look like the ant part, but I guess you're the size of a lion, so fair. Ooh, I should have healed first. You know what? I'm gonna run away. We're gonna run away. We're gonna heal. We're gonna save. Yeah, the Emperor doesn't want to play with us, so I guess we'll just go home. We're gonna save. We're gonna do the smart thing and not die a heinous death in the middle of the desert because we forgot to save again. Excellent. Yeah. Sorry that there was a restriction on LGBTQ+. My apologies. Yeah, I didn't necessarily grow out of Star Wars. It just never caught me, it felt so unfortunate, because, like, Star Wars feels fun. I'm just not super into it. I enjoy some of it. What am I doing? Magic. Duh. There we go. There we go. That's the thing, is the lore is super fun. The universe is super fun. I just don't love the writing style for a lot of it. I love the practical effects too. Like, I'm such a practical effects girl. So there's so much that I feel like I should enjoy about the series, and I just Can't get through it. I agree, though. I do think Star Trek is preferential for a lot of different reasons. I'm fully here to promote the trans agenda in my chat. So, excellent. Good to see it. But you're also not wrong. Old Republic stuff is best. Austin, pretty much same. Pretty much same. I'm such a sucker. I love a good, like, if I see a good puppet, we're done. Like, that, you've already raised the ranks of your movie by a bunch for me, specifically. I don't care about anybody else's feelings. Puppets really are the shit. I love a good puppet. Yes. I think I'm in a very similar boat where, like, I don't love the franchise, but I do love very, very specific things about the series overall, tonally. And it's like, too, when sci-fi universes like Firefly exist, like, Cowboy Bebop exists, you know, like, when you're dealing with other sci-fi that is so good, you can't, you can't really, like, come back and be like, well, yeah, but Star Wars is the best, because that doesn't sit right with me. Yo, you know what's crazy? I haven't seen Labyrinth, and I think it's, like, so on brand for me that it is insane to me that I have not seen it. So yeah, maybe that should make it onto the list of things that I watch in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, no, rip Firefly, rest in peace. Yo, for real. For real. I think the universe was interesting for what it was at the time for Firefly. And the writing is great, but, like, there's, you know, every person who liked a Joss Whedon product has Joss Whedon baggage now. Hell yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I've talked to people and they just assume I've seen Labyrinth from the vibes I bring to the function. So, you know, I think I have to watch it. I think it's now a prereq for me, just based on branding alone. And I love puppets, man. For real, like, why did Joss have to Whedon all over Buffy? It's so sad. But also, like, hey, I'm just glad it exists, you know? I'm just, at the end of the day, it's still a really beautiful series with some excellent writing that, like, a lot of other people put a lot of really good work into. Yeah, no, there's no part of me that could turn off my... I'm very in favor of separating the art from the artist. Like, obviously, for a lot of things, you need the context of a Buffy reboot. I have fears. I have fears about any kind of reboot. Like, I think a Firefly reboot would be cool because I'm super attached to the characters, but, like, I do think they would still be done really well. And it would go crazy. Like, it would go, honestly, balls to the walls bonkers. But I have fears. I have fears. Oh no, the series you dare not mention. But, you know, because, like, you can go back, too, and see the issues. Like, you can see some of the issues with the representation of Faith and Kendra and the other Slayers, and there are so many, like, little issues, and some of the lore that I really do think would do really well with, like, a revisit and a revamp. Revamp, haha, pun intended. I apologize, Sensei Sounds, for Whedoning on this conversation. But yeah, no. There's a lot going on, too, especially with, like, television, because television is in such a rough place generally right now. Due mostly in part to streamers. Streamers have really disrupted the ecosystem of television production. And I don't think anyone is thinking far enough in the future to really deal with that yet. That's also true. Street. I hadn't even really thought about the CW-fication of television overall, but that is a huge... You can really see the thumbprint of a lot of CW, early and modern, on a lot of television generally and broadly. Oh yeah, no, I mean look, the thing too is, we see it in every age of media, like, you know, like you see the sort of like the new wave of every media formatting, then you see the up in arms justification of fixing or modifying or watching whatever that thing is, and then you see the really intense production value increase and everybody gets into a boat of a specific kind of insert whatever new media here. And it usually is just really bad for whatever ecosystem that is. Granted, there are also very positive things that come from a lot of that. I also like some CW stuff. But yeah, no. Because it is. Because literally, if a problem can be solved by talking to another person, it isn't a real problem. And they really did us dirty with a lot of that. Okay, let's go talk to the... let's get stuck in the nurses. Real human words that I said. Oh, get in the boat. Thank you. I also might want to stop in another town to take a little nappy nap. But yeah, no, because that's the other thing too, is, I was thinking about this the other day, and it's really, it has been difficult for, like, we haven't seen the internet 3.0, or whatever rich people are trying to make the internet turn into, like, succeed. And I think that's very particularly because of how the internet is built and how it functions as, like, more or less a community and also a means of production. And I have a lot of interesting thoughts on the sort of gentrification of the web, for lack of another turn of phrase. So I just heard. It seems you're the grabbler. I'm not. If I was, I'd just tell you. And why is it I can't believe you? Yeah, no. We've seen it 100 times. It is old. It is exhausting. And also, this is not a surprising realization coming from... Yep. Yep. Not a real surprising conversation coming from a bunch of people that like Buffy, which literally the whole, like, I can't tell anyone about my identity is resolved in the first 3 episodes. And the series ends with everybody basically knowing. God, that was another thing. I really considered getting into the Buffy commentary space, but Passion of the Nerd is doing such a good job with his retrospective that, like, I didn't want to step into that territory. Yes, let me sleep. Let me sleep!